Hello, Professor Pearson, and welcome to the last presentation. I have chosen Tesla, and I will be testing against my framework, the Excellent Learner Framework, uh, based on principles and concepts that we have learned through the Good to Great book and our Levers of Control book. Let's begin with a little bit of history on Tesla. So they started in 2003, Musk is CEO in 2008, goes public in 2010, make a profit in 2013, and they just go on up from there. We'll talk about some other key points going forward at a later time, but I just wanted to show this graphic to kind of show the condensed timeline. But Tesla, they are a technology and automobile company. They manufacture cars, semi trucks, and now trucks, batteries, storage systems, chargers, and solar panels, and solar shingles, which are just smaller solar panels that replace the shingles of your roof. And then they went public in 2010, and now they are currently the most valuable U.S. automaker ever. And they are led by CEO Elon Musk, and we will now get some background history on him. So he's the CEO of Tesla, he's the founder of SpaceX, he's the owner of what was Twitter, now is called X. So he started an online bank called X.com, not to be confused with the Twitter now. He rebought the URL and stuff like that with everything that went on. But he rebought that now. But with X, they were an online banking system. They merged with Confinity. He did not get the right to be their CEO. He was denied pretty heavily. And then later on, they merged with PayPal, and he got a pretty hefty payday. But that's how he made quite a bit of his money. But later on, he did buy that X.com back so that he could use it at a later time. And then he was also denied CEO-ship with his first company, Zip2, that he started with his brother. And so he is regarded as very smart, but he's also risky and uncontrollable. And a lot of board of directors and other governing bodies did not see him as a strong CEO choice because he did not have much experience. And so we're going to start with our framework assessment principles. Levers of control. You got the belief system. This is going to guide and be ingrained in all employees what the company says, what they believe, and how they're going to get their employees to work on the innovation and how they're going to be guided. They are going to have the boundary system, and this is going to literally be those segregation of duties, the environmental regulations, things like that are going to physically be set to stop employees from causing more risks or causing more harm. And so this is strictly to avoid known risks like fraud. Interactive control systems, this is going to stimulate the emergence of new ideas and strategies and opportunities, and so this is going to help them to manage those strategic uncertainties of the future. And then diagnostic control systems, we're going to set goals, we're going to monitor and coordinate, we're going to also monitor performance and motivate employees with these, and so these are again just going to be key performance indicators and measures. Now we're going to talk about good to great. We got people before strategies, just making sure that we're setting the strategy after placing people where they should be. Although the company is ongoing now and it's not new, we can still be setting people in the right place to succeed for the future as the strategy is going to adapt. Make sure that people are there first before we try to change it. Level 5 leaders are going to have have humility, immutable will, and they're going to have a strong ability to face the hard truths. Hedgehog concept, again, it's going to be selecting your strategy based off of existing passions. So you got to have a passion, but you also got to discover what your company can be best at. When you have those two, you may then set your strategy, and that is what you will focus on. You're not going to be like a fox and go around to a billion different strategies and a billion different ideas, just running around being cunning. No, you will set it for one, and that's your goal. And so you're going to discover those things that you're good at, use the passions, and then build your strategy off of it. This here is a flywheel. Just wanted to show it. This one was also used in, pretty sure it was used in the book, or I just found it online while also researching more about the book with some other learning. But I think you also used it in the lesson. So anyway, the flywheel concept, again, it's just businesses must stay patient, consistent, and constant with their workings towards these strategies and goals. They cannot keep going back and forth and changing direction. Otherwise, they will never build momentum. And without momentum, they will never be able to get past hard things like COVID, where momentum can really carry you through. So with these concepts, we can now test Tesla and Elon Musk. So we'll test them separately against this excellent learner framework. So Tesla, they work tirelessly to make sure they train and hire the right people. And so they're going to try really hard to ingrain this belief statement in their employees to create the most compelling car company of the 21st century by driving the world's transition to electric vehicles. That is the belief statement. This is what their belief system is. They want every employee to feel this. Now, for their boundary system, they have to follow segregation of duties due to Sarbanes-Oxley. They have to follow environmental regulations because they're an ESG type company, right? They're environmentally friendly, so, supposedly, right? That's what they're going for. And they have reporting regulations, again, due to SOX and other GAAP and things like that, accounting concepts and rules. But again, they have these regulations they must follow, even though they are external. They have to be applied internally, and that's going to set your boundary system. And then your interactive control system is going to be investing in the current and future workforce. And Tesla does this really well with their programs and their training with future employees and current. And they're going to train everyone to begin forward thinking. You're coming into the company to be at your position. However, we want you to start thinking ahead. How can we get better? How can we become more efficient? That's what Tesla's trying to train them to be. Now, here's the diagnostic key performance indicator measure that is the biggest across Tesla. I mean, if you asked anybody at Tesla, this is what they measure off of. Waste per vehicle made. So every vehicle that comes out, they know exactly what the waste is for that vehicle, and they're trying to minimize it. So from first factory in Fremont to the most recent, as of 2023, was Shanghai, they have had a 35% reduction. So we are able to see that their biggest performance variable is in fact working because they are able to reduce the waste per vehicle. And so that is really good that we're able to actually see with a hard fact that it is in fact working, that their interactive control system, or diagnostic control system, I apologize, is working. And then here we move on to the good to great concepts. So we're going to have top to bottom. Tesla is working tirelessly to go from top management of the CEO all the way down to the accountants and the factory workers and everyone in between, that they are in the correct department at the correct location at the correct time. They want to make sure that they maximize the utility of that position with that person's skills. That way the company can continue to build strategies based off the people that are in those positions. Tesla hired Elon Musk as CEO. So to test the level 5 leadership, if Elon Musk passes, Tesla passes. So they will be contingent upon that. Now, Tesla set its sights on being the best electric car company. That is what they believe that their company can be best at. Their passion is electric energy, renewable energy, and electric cars in general. So they have set their strategy as being the best electric car company in the world. And they have since adapted it to provide even better quality and luxury by creating this entire Tesla ecosystem with the solar panels to the chargers to the battery packs to the whole home and grid ecosystem that can be used as entirety. And that is a major benefit to them as they are striving to be different than a Nissan or a Prius or a Tesla or any other company like Rivian. They're trying to separate themselves from those companies. Tesla waited 10 years to turn a profit. This is going to apply to the flywheel concept. Tesla waited 10 years to turn a profit. 10 years later, they became the most valuable U.S. automaker in the history of U.S. automakers. Ford, Chevy, been around much longer. Obviously, they had a lot of other things going on at the time, world wars and things like that would have hindered them. However, Tesla was able to do it in 20 years. That shows patience. 10 years to make a profit. Most companies go under in that time because they're not able to make money. Thankfully, they went public and they were able to start making money and doing things like that. And so 10 years later, here we see them being, technically it was like 7 years later after making a profit, but 10 years after going public. But 7 years after making a profit, they're able to become the most valuable company. That's a really, really fast turnaround. And so they were able to set their sights on those goals, and they were able to never shift focus and able to hold on to that hedgehog concept and just allow momentum to build. So here's Elon Musk's assessment. Elon Musk is the CEO of Tesla, and I know he makes really important decisions. However, I could not find any cold hard facts that he was guiding, implementing, creating, or aiding in any way those levers of control. I know he has some piece, but I cannot find hard facts to back it up, and so therefore I cannot pass him on this specific principle. Or technically these four, but as a whole, the levers of control as a whole system and principle. I cannot pass him due to that. So as CEO, Musk makes a lot of decisions regarding hiring and placement of positions. As such, Musk works very, very hard to put people in place before the strategy is there. He hires the board, or hires. He works with the board of directors, making sure the right people are in place there, hires all the management below him, from CFO to COO down to a factory manager, things like that, making sure that everybody's in place to go next, right? Making sure that they have solar people in place before buying Solar City. Makes sense. They need a lot of strategy after people are being placed as this company is growing, and so is their strategy. Musk has proven his humility and his ability to face hard facts in the video I'm going to show in the next slide. Now, this is going to apply to that level 5 leadership. So, he is able to show his immutable will by buying Twitter and immediately firing 80% of its employees. Now, that might just sound crazy and wild. However, he decided and realized and believed that Twitter did not need 100% of its employees to operate. It could go to 20%. And so he did just that, fired 80%, and was able to put together an even better system going forward. And now, here is the video showing that ability.
You don't even need a cold gas thruster system. You already have hot gas.
But this is only for the booster, right?
Yes. Although arguably, now you mention it, we might be wise to do this for the ship too. We're gonna fix that.
Jeez.
I'd say that's like one of the biggest improvements that we've made.
It occurred to me while I was explaining it to you. I was like, wait, what are we doing?
All right.
You don't even need a cold gas thruster system.
We see that although the reporter didn't say much, he's able to face that hard fact that that fuel system was not going to be correct. They're able to fix it. He was humble about it. He invited the reporter back, and they were able to fix it 7 months later and able to launch that rocket. So Elon Musk has always been a strong voice for Tesla. And as such, he works tirelessly on the hedgehog concepts of being able to show that Tesla is aiming to be that best electric car company in the world. He shows the strong passion for not only the company, but also electric cars, renewable energy, being better for the planet. He wants the world to be a better place and wants to be cleaner, wants to improve ESG standards across the board. So he's going to work very hard, and he has to show that with his work that he's done. And so he's even gone as far as to say that Cybertruck had bulletproof glass and panels, and if you've seen that video, it did not work out well, but they can always adapt and grow from that. And so he did help adapt the goals to acquire Solar City in 2016 and began building the Tesla ecosystem. So again, the hedgehog concept can change. It can adapt over time. However, you must reach some milestones, and they have hit those. They were able to adapt it to create that Tesla ecosystem. And then lastly, the flywheel concept. Musk has shown resilience in staying true to Tesla's concepts and ideas for years. He's been there since 2008. Cybertruck is another example. Announced in 2019, had many, many problems and setbacks, and yet now it's finally coming out in 2024. They never recalled it and said, never mind, we're not coming out with it. We're sorry. Looked really cool. It'll never happen. No, they stuck to their guns, and momentum slowly took them, and it fixed the problems. They were able to get it done, and now it's released everywhere. People are getting them. And so by allowing the momentum to build, Musk is able to show that as the company grows, this momentum is only making it faster, only picking it up even better. And so they're able to go from 2 cars in 2013 to now having a whole ecosystem from the solar panels all the way down to the cars. So it's really great. So final results. Tesla meets all criteria for the excellent learners framework. They've got the 4 levers of control, people before strategy, level 5 leadership, the hedgehog concept, and the flywheel concept. I consider them an excellent learner. They're able to learn from the past, able to learn from these wonderful business professionals, Jim Collins and Robert Simons, and able to apply them into the business and be an excellent learner. Elon Musk, however, does meet the criteria for people over strategy, level 5 leadership, hedgehog concept, and the flywheel concept. However, he does not meet the 4 levels of control due to the lack of information and facts to prove that he could meet those. Although I'm sure he does, I cannot prove it, so I will not pass him on that. And therefore, I believe he's on the path to excellent learner, but he is not there yet. And so at a later time, he can be assessed once we have more information from X and SpaceX as well as Tesla. So here are my concluding thoughts. Users of my framework should understand the concepts beyond what I've presented and written, should understand it better by reading the books Levers of Control by Robert Simons and Good to Great by Jim Collins. Understanding it the way that they wrote it, how the definition, and all that will allow you to better adapt my framework to any company, any leader you may want to assess. However, Tesla's concluding thought that I have for them needs to be applying that diagnostic control system not only to the future, but also needs to take it back. They need to adjust the Fremont factory. They're continuously getting these citations and these problems with the Bay Area and Fremont County and things like that because they are getting fines and they're getting these notices. And they're getting this legal action because they are not adjusting the old factories with the key performance indicators and simply changing the future. So Tesla needs to do a little bit better about applying it to the future, but also fixing what's been done before. So that way these problems don't arise. And then Elon Musk does just need to show further proof that he's able to be involved and apply the levers of control principles in order to be considered an excellent learner. I truly believe he will get there someday if he's not there already. He is an excellent leader. He just needs to prove that he is part of that lever of control system. And so with that, I end my presentation and I thank you for listening. Thank you so very much, Professor Pearson, for the wonderful semester and the many good thoughts. And I hope you have a good rest of your summer. Thank you so much.